In skate this morning, a lot of heard you say, move it, you know. Is it a matter of getting these guys' legs going, or is it just kind of getting them used to what you're going to be expecting?
Well, I mean, I think a little bit of both. I mean, I think we want to be able to, looking at all the good teams, they play an up-tempo game, you know, and you got to be able to move the puck. It's not just necessarily moving your legs, but moving the puck quick can make slow teams look fast, and that's if we can get that, you know, in our repertoire, I think we'll be better.
Chris, how much of these past 24 hours has been like a crash course, you know, for you on this team?
As crash a course as you can get. Yeah. So it's still a whirlwind, you know. Getting in there and I'm going, like, I mean, it's not going in chronological order that you'd like to go. You go, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. So it's I'll be glad when it gets back to a little bit of normalcy, and for the players too, to get into that routine of what they'll be used to, hopefully, because it's probably a little bit of a change from what they're used to. Whether that's good or bad, we'll see.
In a nutshell, kind of what did you do last night? Or were you just kind of studying up on guys, or just what were you?
Last night, when I left here at 6 o'clock, I went to bed. It's been a long 2 days, you know, and but you know, you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning when you do that, so it's and then you start again. So it's a lot of thinking on. You write your thoughts down on paper when you're doing that, on line combinations, on how you want to work things, the perfect world, and then you start having individual meetings to get to know the people. Like, I mean, what makes them tick? One thing that I've been lucky with, you know, I mean, being in the organization in Washington for the last 7 years, is you get to know the players both coming up and seeing them as young kids and then developing, but you get to know what makes them work and what their family situation is and everything else. So it's I think it's important to know what goes on in their life. Like, I mean, if they've got 2 sick kids at home and they look really tired, it's not that they're out all night, it's maybe that they're up all night because the kids are up all night. So it's little things like that I think help go a long way.
So you set up individual meetings along the way? Or
I did 3 of them today, so it's and I'm going to do 2 when we're done here. But I mean, you can only do a certain amount a day, or what happens, like everything else, you get tired, and then instead of having a 15-minute meeting, they start to shorten to 10 to 12 to 6 and say, hi, what's your name? Okay, you're good, let's go. And you don't want to do that either. So.
You don't want to cheat them? Or,
no. Yeah, you want to make sure that you're tentative to everybody's, you know, treat everybody the same in that respect.
Mm-hmm. One of the things you did, maybe, if anything, just right off the bat, just put in the big line back together or so. For their, what was that done for? Was that for their sake or anything? Or
no, all I know is when we played against them, they were great. We thought they were the best line in the league. And I don't know what's happened, but you know, when we played against them, and I think I've played against them 3 times or 4 times, and they were always dominant. And so that's my memory of them. And we can get them back playing like that, then they should be again as good as any individual line in the league.
Are you would you call yourself a big matchup guy? Would you put the Gets last line against the other team's top line, or keep them away, or?
You know what? I want to do what I want to do. If it works, it works. But I'm not going to play games to screw with our team. If they're screwing around with, you know, their lines and that, I mean, if it, you know, you'd like to get the matchups, but I'm not going to go. You can match up defense to forwards really easily, but it's not going to be where I'm changing lines every 12 seconds on the go. It's not me. It works for some people. I found as a player that I used to get frustrated because you dump the puck in and you have to change all the time.
And there's no flow.
And there's no flow. So I mean, you know, but again, for some guys it works extremely well, and you know, maybe it's a fault of mine, but I don't know. We'll see.
Chris, you got to see firsthand when they were in Washington, the team will kind of go off against you guys. I think you had 2 goals and 4 points. What's kind of your thought on actually coaching him
Tell him to do it every night. He was really good, and I couldn't believe he was 40 years old watching him play that night. So, you know, usually you get a little slower when you get older, but he was fast that night, and Saku looked great that night too. So, let's hope that they can continue that. Because one line's not going to win the game. I mean, one line's not going to win a cup. One line's not going to make you successful. You need everybody going.